Hello, everyone. Welcome to day two of A Taste of LTC. We're spending the last 5 days of the year here live with you to give you a taste of how powerful the Course in Miracles is and can be in your life if this draws you to it. Today, we're going to be exploring and unpacking lesson 357.
Doing what we love to do to close out the year, which is studying the Course in Miracles together.
Yeah, absolutely. And we begin all of our gatherings with a little bit of centering, getting ourselves inward, releasing the external world. So I'll pass to you for that.
Yeah, if you didn't join us yesterday, we're just basically doing what we do every day in our program, Living the Course, which is we begin the morning studying the daily lesson together. We like to start with a centering, then we get into the lesson. We'll read it together, go over the principles, the teachings, pull out all the gems and nuggets for you. And then we go into a guided experience to give you like a deep interpersonal relationship to the lesson or experience of the lesson. And then we'll have some time for question and answer at the end. So
yeah,
I'll be happy to get us centered today.
Cool.
If I can figure out the StreamYard settings.
Also learning yet another new platform, which is awesome, actually. It keeps us on our edge.
I like StreamYard. It's really fun and it has a lot of functions, but it's kind of like being a pilot where you got all those buttons.
You're learning
to pull all the buttons
while you're flying.
Yeah. We're flying on the live stream and learning in real time together. It's fun.
Exactly.
All right, join me in closing your eyes, beginning to take some deep conscious breaths. And just breathing in presence. Breathing out distractions. Breathing in stillness. Breathing out thoughts, concepts, mind noise. Breathing in love. Breathing out all resistance and all fear. And just coming to that simple awareness of the breath, which anchors me in the I am. I am aware. I am conscious. I exist. It is my very consciousness and my existence that makes me divine and holy. The I am that shines in me is the I am of God. We are one, not two, not separate. Breathe into that awareness. Allow that awareness that I am pure consciousness, one with reality, Because I am pure consciousness, I am the Christ. And my Christ nature will lead me to the truth. It will lead me to freedom. It will lead me to love, union with God. And so I make a place for truth to meet me today, in my mind and in my awareness, by simply cultivating the intention that I am open and I am ready to allow truth to correct all errors in my mind today. Take a moment and connect to that intention in your heart. In this awareness of our oneness, of our Christ nature, we ready our hearts and minds to receive the words of truth today, to allow truth to encounter us in that ancient place of our soul that remembers the truth and already knows the truth and is delighted to hear the words of truth. We establish ourselves in our true being, and we know that this is the place where the miracle can occur. So join me in taking 3 deep breaths, holding this intention in your heart, and gradually bringing your awareness back into the body by breathing in, breathing out, breathing into that love, breathing out. One last breath. Breathing in and breathing out. Opening your eyes when you're ready.
Very nice. Thank you.
Hope my gardeners weren't too loud in the background.
Didn't hear him at all.
Right. Praise be.
Hearing an echo, though, are you?
I'm not hearing an echo.
Oh, good.
Might just turn your volume down.
Yeah, it'll drive me crazy, but as long as it's not driving everyone else crazy. Thank you for that. I love this sentence you said, allow truth to correct all errors in my mind today. You know, truth is kind of, in that idea, it's synonymous with the miracle, because that's what the miracle does. It corrects our mind. It corrects our attention, so that's flowing from the truth to the truth. So it was beautiful.
Yeah. Truth heals our mind. And that's really the theme of today's lesson, 357.
Yep. So good. So let's look at 357. Do you got that ready?
Got it.
Oh, man.
I learned, brother.
This guy.
Look at me. Technology.
Seriously, it's so good.
I can do all things through Christ.
Truly. especially StreamYard.
Yes, yes, indeed.
All right, so let's look at 357 today, everybody. Truth answers every call we make to God, responding first with miracles and then returning us to be itself. It goes on to say, forgiveness, truth's reflection, tells me how to offer miracles and thus escapes the prison house in which I think I live. I think I live. Your Holy Son is pointed out to me first in my brother. The wholeness, the Christ self, the divine being is pointed out to you first in the other person, then in me. Your voice instructs me patiently to hear your word and give as I receive. And as I look upon your Son today, I hear your voice instructing me to find the way to you as you appointed, that the way shall be. Behold his sinlessness and be you healed. This drops about 10 bombs, 10 spiritual bombs, 10 spiritual transformational bombs in the middle of this. So I think I'll just begin by unpacking the idea that right at the top, truth answers every call we make to God. So every time you pray, every time you ask, every time you're turning for support, and God is synonymous with higher power, love. If the word is triggering at this point, just think of higher self or the I am presence. It responds immediately when you call. So the first response it gives, though, is that it has to give you the right idea, the spiritual idea of your being, the truth, capital T, which is transcendent and not of this world. Very often we find ourselves seeking God for something in the world, seeking something to change in this, as Aaron and I like to call the Titanic, that's just sinking. It's going down. No matter where you're sitting on it, it's the same idea. So truth has got to take us out of that focus and bring us back to the spiritual nature of your being. And this is where, in the mind, in your thought system, this is where the miracle is delivered. And then once the miracle comes into place, that's when you find, I'm sitting in the center of myself. I'm sitting in my wholeness, my allness, my oneness with God. And there's that sweet relief that is right there waiting for you.
That's sweet relief.
Yeah.
I actually want to back up to yesterday's lesson because you can kind of see how this is a continuation of yesterday. Father, you promised you would never fail to answer any call your Son might make to you.
Yep.
Truth answers every call we make to God. So it's telling us this is the way that God answers the call we make, is by delivering truth into our mind or reminding us of the truth. As Mark is saying, the truth of who we are. And so forgiveness is truth's reflection, because if you think about it practically, right, how can you stand in the truth of who you are, which is perfect love, and also hold a grievance against someone? Right? Or also hate somebody in your heart or judge somebody? It can't, those two things cannot coexist, right? Love and fear cancel each other out. The presence of one is the absence of the other. So forgiveness is truth's reflection, because when you forgive, whether yourself, whether another person, a thought, truth reflects that you know who you are. Or sorry, forgiveness reflects that you know the truth of who you are.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the distinction that ACIM pulls out between the miracle and forgiveness, is that one is cause, the other is effect. A miracle, for those of you who maybe haven't studied A Course in Miracles much, it's a course in miracles, because the miracle is the shift in perception from a fearful perception to a loving perception, from a fear state to a loving state. So anytime your mind shifts out of a fear state and into a loving state where you connect, you receive, you experience God's love in some way, you experience freedom, you experience peace, you experience a release, that is the miracle. That's what the Course is talking about, is that the mind has to shift, even like neurologically speaking, right? When you have an angry thought, there's neurons firing in the brain that are going that direction. And the energy current is flowing in that direction of, I hate them, I can't believe they did that, I can't believe they said that, how evil are they, how horrible are they? And it's like, what are you going to do to get that electrical current of energy to stop going in that direction of fear and separation? You have to bring in forgiveness. Forgiveness is like the depolarization in the mind, the depolarization of negative energy that says, no, 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 I forgive that thought, that person, that memory. I don't hold resistance towards them. I'm not going to put them out of my heart. All is well, all is all right. They're just where they are. I'm just where I am. There's nobody to blame. It's just energy interacting, right? You're having that recognition in real time, and the neurons in your brain begin to shift into another direction, which is a more expansive, open, loving direction where you can connect to peaceful thoughts again. You're not stuck in that loop of negative self-talk, negative thinking, and criticism and judgment. That's the miracle, right? It's a physiological event, a neurological event, and it's a spiritual event, all at the same time. And once forgiveness has taken place, we open that space within us for the miracle to occur.
Dude, this is a bring out the tambourines time, man. That's so solid. So solid. I just love that so much. So, and this is what happens to all of us, as Aaron's pointing to, when your energy, your attention is shooting towards a story about yourself, about the past, about what happened, about what you're certain of in the world, you can't of yourself shift out of that because you're so stuck in being right. You're so stuck in believing this painful thought is the reality. And yet, all the while, right next to it, available is the light, the freedom, the joy of your being, the gift that you could bring to the world that would create a powerful transformation right there inside of you. So it's vitally important that we use, as Aaron said, forgiveness to come to neutral. Neutral activates the miracle. I just love it, man. I know I'm repeating a little bit, but it's worth repeating.
It's worth repeating.
It's worth repeating. That's super solid. That's what the Course in Miracles does. It's a mind training program. And we need mind training. You need, if I may, this kind of consistent day in, day out practice for those who are really serious about healing their mind and becoming a loving presence within yourself and for others. This is the training that I needed. I know Aaron is passionate about, and I will dare say needed to get us to this place. So I want to also pull out the second sentence that we referenced. Your Holy Son has pointed out to me first in my brother, then in me. So what that's saying is the way that this works is as I begin to see, and brother is the word, as Aaron said yesterday, it's really represents anyone and everyone that appears outside of you. It's not gender. So the men, the women, the relationships in your life, when you hold someone as your problem, when you hold someone as limited, addicted, sick, unworthy, should be locked up and thrown away, all of the judgments that you hold against the other person, this is where we're called to do our work. This is what it's saying. As we, through the practice of forgiveness and the shifting of our mind about that person, as we release those stories, those overlays, those projections, as the Course talks about, as those become lighter and lighter and freer, you really will see that person, that very person that you were crucifying, you will see them as innocent. You'll see them as an expression of God. You'll see them as this beautiful light being. And guess what happens next? Boom. Oh, that's me. That's the real healing.
Dude, this is exactly the problem the Course meets us at, where we don't know who we are. We forgot who we are. I think I'm just this person. I'm just this body. I'm going to live a few finite years and then be annihilated from existence. So I need to just live fast and furious, grabbing as much pleasure as I can get and running away from as much pain as I can. And we're stuck in this nightmare of separateness. And the Course says, look, all that you are looking for is already found in your own self. Your own true nature is your freedom, but you can't see it because you're judging others. You're full of angry, judging thoughts towards people. And so the Course teaches this principle over and over again, that if I deny the divinity of my brother, which, as Mark said, means anybody in the world, all others are my brothers. If I deny the divinity in another, I've denied it in myself. So that line Mark pointed out just now is really the whole key. Your Holy Son has pointed out to me first in others, then in me. meaning there's no way I'll ever recognize my true inner freedom and divinity if I'm actively denying seeing it in others. If I see guilty people, evil people, bad people, I'm shutting my mind away from the truth of who I am at the same time. So the only way to have true freedom is to offer freedom. The Course says, by offering freedom, you will be free.
Yeah.
And so this line of your Holy Son, we talked about yesterday, the Son of God in the Course's language is you. It's the Christ. It's that divine principle in you. So the Son of God there's actually a lesson. A previous lesson says, the Son of God is my identity. That's the title of the lesson. And it talks about this term of the Word of God, capital W. The Word of God is kind of like another synonym for the will of God or the intention of God towards you. And so the Course says, what is the Word of God? What is the Word of God over me? That capital W. It says, it is this: my Son is pure and holy as myself. And so if you can realize that truth in yourself, I am as pure, as perfect, and as holy as God itself is, then you will be free eternally. You will live in the peace of God forever. So how do we get to that realization is the question. And this is why today's lesson is really this focus on forgiveness, because you can't get to that place if you have judgments, as Mark was saying. You have to forgive the judgments about the world, forgive the judgments about others, those who've wronged you, those who've harmed you. And as you give those things up and choose to see past the mistakes of others, choose to see past the faults of others and see the divine principle in them, then you actually immediately begin to recognize it in yourself. It's truly a profound experience that Course students begin to have as we study this text. And at first we start studying it and it's like, hey, forgive your brother, forgive your brother. And we're like, is there a different book I can read? Like a different solution? Because I really like to hold my grievances against those who've wronged me. It feels good. I don't really want to let those go. And the Course says, well, then you can't be free. And you're like, okay, I'll try. And you come back the next day. You come back the next day. You read the next lesson. You read the next lesson. And the Course just keeps saying it again in different ways. Forgive your brother. See his innocence. See his divinity. See the Christ. And eventually something begins to crack in you. And you're like, oh man, I feel some truth in this. Maybe this is the way to my freedom. And you start trying to apply that forgiveness. And it's a bumpy road for a while, right? It feels clunky to try to forgive people you've hated for decades or years of your life. But as you just keep committing yourself to the practice, God, I want to forgive them. Please help me to forgive. Help me to see their innocence. Then something profound starts to happen. When you start to actively choose to forgive others for their mistakes, you notice that when you make mistakes, when you say that, when that comment flies out of your mouth that you're embarrassed about, you're like, I can't believe I said that. Rather than going into self-judgment and negative self-talk and spiraling downwards like you always did, something in you is just open and light about it. And you're like, that's okay. I'm just learning. I'm divine. I'm innocent. And you're like, oh, I see it in myself because I'm giving it away to others. And then you experience what the miracle really is. It is a miracle to see yourself as one with God, as the Christ. That's the ultimate miracle, is to know who you are. And every little moment you apply forgiveness in your mind is taking you one step closer to that miracle.
Yeah. It's like the movement is, we start out coming to the Course trying to hold God and grievances. And then the Course gently moves you to, oh, it's God or grievances.
Yeah.
I don't get both. And then the Course moves you to, there are no grievances, there's only God. Boom.
Illusions, right? As the Course calls them.
You realize the grievances are see-through. They're just nothing. You've been holding on to nothing, but you don't get there. Most of us need this, we need to go through again. This Course is what moves you down the path to that revelation. So let's do an experience here for you, which is what we do every lesson. And don't worry about fully understanding what forgiveness is. And if your mind is already moved towards, but what about this thing in the world? But what about this person? That's the very problem. Your buts. Place those buts to the side and just give this a try. Just follow my lead and let the words be sufficient. In LTC, you will learn what forgiveness is inside and out, and you'll have such a you'll have such a phenomenal understanding of the word, but it builds over time. So let's give a taste of it
Yeah.
now. I invite you to close your eyes again. If that's possible, if you're out and about, well, then just intentionally listen to these words and follow in your mind. But if you can't close your eyes, let's return to that breath, anchoring in those 3 deep breaths that we ended the opening centering with. And the last sentence of this lesson says, "Behold his sinlessness and be you healed." Behold the innocence in someone else, and you will, through your mind's eye, your imagination, allow someone that you are judging or holding a grievance against, even a little one. Don't go too big right now. Just someone that you have a little upset. Imagine them and standing there about 10 or 15 feet in front of you. Just see them in your mind's eye. And the way that I like to activate forgiveness is by asking. Asking makes me humble and open. So breathe these words in yourself. If you can say them out loud, say, "I ask for forgiveness. Set me and you free." And imagine that an energy of golden light flows from your heart to theirs as you repeat it. "I ask that forgiveness sets you and me free." And that golden light begins to circle back and forth, heart to heart, between the two of you. I ask that forgiveness set you and me free, because we're both stuck in identities that are not holy and not whole. Forgiveness purifies. I ask that forgiveness set you and me free. And imagine that that person that you're seeing in your mind's eye grows younger and younger, so that they're like a teenager, younger. They become a kid, younger, they become a little child, younger and younger, until they're laying there like a newborn baby. Pure light, pure love. This is the essence of who this person is, sinless. Before they acquired their stories, their behaviors, their addictive patterns, before that all got activated, they're this pure, innocent being. I ask that forgiveness set me and you free. I ask that forgiveness help me to see this person as a young baby, innocent, whole, happy, unconditioned. This is the truth. And as you see this in them, this is what is awakened in you. And so we bless that image of that beautiful young innocent baby that is the representation of who they are. And imagine that just kind of disappears in the light. And let's do one more. See in your mind's eye yourself. See an image of yourself 10 or 15 feet away from you. This image represents all the judgments and the shaming and the guilting and the making wrong that you've been doing to yourself. See yourself holding all of those projections and stories that are keeping you from your own innocence. And activate that golden light upon yourself. I ask for forgiveness, set myself free. I ask for forgiveness, set me free from all the false ideas I have about myself. These are the same ideas I have about other people. All the same stories. I ask for forgiveness, set me free. And imagine that symbol of you growing younger and younger and younger until you see again yourself as a beautiful, innocent baby lying there, happy, joyous, and free, unconditioned, a symbol of the perfection of you, the spiritual nature of you. Blessings to that one. Blessings to that one that you are. Forgiveness helps you reveal this, remember this in yourself and others. For this one, imagine that baby just kind of lifts up and floats right into the center of your heart, becomes incorporated and activated as a symbol of your innocence, your perfection. By setting one brother free, you have the access to this within yourself. This is the gift we give, and as we give it, we become it. Take a deep breath. I ask for forgiveness that me and everyone just take a moment and just leave like fire hose of forgiveness upon your whole world, upon your whole mind. I ask that forgiveness set me and everyone free this day. Another deep breath. Begin bringing yourself back to the room you're in, opening your eyes when you're ready. That's
Selah.
left 357, everyone.
That's it. I ask forgiveness, set me and everyone else free. That's all you need.
Yep.
That's all
That's
you
it.
need, man.
That's it. So now, thank you for joining for the lesson. We want to invite you to join us in LTC next year. It's a beautiful community. It's global. It's got people from all over the world who are dedicated to studying the course and making it for 2024 an integral part of their spiritual path. And if that's calling to you, if you really do want this, and we want it for you, we want it for the world, because what we know is that this really is the way that the world is healed. It's healed by us doing our healing work in our minds so that we can become the conduit for love. So if that's speaking to you, then please consider joining us. We've got a special offer for you. It's a discounted price. We have payment plans so that you can do it with us. It's just a lovely, lovely community, and we're so blessed to lead it, and we'd love for you to be a part of it.
Yeah, and we also have a 30-day money-back guarantee. If you study the course with us for 30 days, all through the month of January, and you're like, hey, this just isn't for me, not resonating, not connecting, no problem. We don't want to keep anyone in this work that doesn't want to do the work. So we make the barrier of entry as low as possible. Like, we just want to put out the call to those who want to do this forgiveness work with us and our amazing community of hundreds of other beautiful souls doing this work together. And it's really that togetherness. It's that community of doing this work with others every day, showing up on the calls, seeing everyone, chatting with everyone, much like we're doing this week, that gives you this feeling of empowerment and connectedness. And like, we're all in this together, man. We're all holding hands, walking back to heaven, doing the forgiveness work, healing all the same things. Your path is my path. You get to feel that when you grow and learn in community and study the course together with others. And that's just one of the most powerful aspects of what LTC really offers.
Yeah. Hey, can you put the link in again? Someone's asking where to go to find out.
Yes, I did star it. I don't know what that actually means, honestly.
So we'll post it a couple times for
Yeah.
you there. So that'll help. Basically, it's $100 a month. $100 a month gets you access to 30 lessons a day, 30 lessons, or 31 to 29, 28, how many days in the month, and over 30 master classes and weekly live gatherings with us to support you in being together in community.
We also forgot to mention yesterday that we also do a Friday Q&A, live Q&A every Friday of the entire year. So you get a live lesson to answer your question, Charlene, live lesson streamed every day. And then every Thursday, well, the first 3 out of 4 Thursdays of each month, you get a master class where we unpack those terms like brother. For example, we talked about what brother means today. We go a lot deeper into those terms in our master classes. So you really understand and understand what these terms mean. And then every Friday we come together and review the lessons of the week again, answer questions, deeper reflections on the lessons. So it's a whole lot of, it's honestly more content than most people are able to handle, which is totally fine. We like to make more than enough available, and you can just connect with whatever you're able to or want to, but there's an abundance of opportunity to connect with the course, study the course, and to do so in community with us.
Yeah, there's something in there that's not correct. I'm not sure why that is. Someone's writing it's $160 a month or $133 a month if you pay it once. That's the price. That is, we're giving you a discount. So we're going to make sure that you're giving I think when you click on the link Aaron's giving you, it should only be 100 a month or 1,200 total for the year.
Yeah.
So it's not more than 100 a month. So please make sure that that's the price you're getting. If it's the higher price, then that's not correct.
Yeah, and let us know in the chat if the link we sent somehow isn't the right link. We'll get you the right one, but that should be the right.
There's another one. Is it 100 or 120? That's what I'm seeing. But you know, I think it's 120 a month because it's 10 months.
Oh, right. We condense it to 10 months versus 12. Right.
Yeah. Sorry about that, guys. We don't do 12 months. We do it's the same price. We just do it in 10 months. So 120 a month for 10. The last 2 months you don't pay. So that clears that up. Also, a question I saw that went through, Aaron, is the book included? We don't send you the book, but here's the great news. You can access the entire book for free online. There's more than a couple locations where you have access to the entire book for free. So that's available to you, and you'll learn more about that when you join us.
Yeah, ACIM.org is the easiest and freest resource you can have, but I have it on my Kindle, I have the book, I have it on my webpage. I'm always opening the course everywhere, so it's easy to access.
Yeah. So we'll make ourselves available for a few more minutes. If there's any questions you want to put in the chat, if you already did ask a question earlier, if you could repeat it, because it goes by so quickly. We can't quite keep caught up. So please don't think we're ignoring it. Just we miss it.
I did see this question. Could you talk about the 2024 retreat? We also do an annual retreat usually it's in October. I think this next year it's going to be in August, but we've been going to Unity Village in Kansas City, and we do about a 3 to 4 day retreat. And there's nothing Mark and I could say to possibly describe how amazing these experiences are together. It's just like an absolute heart chakra love fest for 3 days. I think because we study so intensely together every single day, by the time we get to the end of the year where we get to meet everybody in person, it literally feels like meeting soul family members from a past lifetime that you get to reconnect with. Like, it's just an incredible feeling. Yeah, the vibration in the atmosphere is unreal for those 3 to 4 days. And we just go even deeper into the course together, have incredible experiences for you, and all the fun stuff that retreats entail. So yes, we do retreats every year. And we also have a payment option that you can add the retreat price into your payment plan. So you can kind of space out your payment throughout the year. We usually have about 70-ish, 75 people that will attend those retreats on average each year. So if you feel called to attend the retreat, we make that option available in the payment plan as well.
Yeah. And you also, if you do the payment plan, you get the cheaper retreat price because it will be going up in the new year due to expenses and costs that are going up, but we're keeping it down for those who register early. Someone else asked if you can't afford LTC, there's lots of ways to study the course. You can go onto YouTube, and there's really some very, very credible, good teachers that are available to you. Yeah. So by all means, if living the course isn't a match for you, then, by all means, please study the course in whatever way you can. There's many wonderful communities, and we're certain there's one for you.
Yeah. We also have a free community you can join called the LTC Ashram.
Thank you.
Which is on our platform. We don't teach in that platform every day live or something, but we give lots of free resources to you. We share clips from our teachings and from our Q&As and all of that. I saw somebody asked, what time do you meet daily? Can you watch a replay if you can't make the live? We touched on this yesterday as well. Every single call is saved in our archive throughout the entire year. Yep. You have access to the whole archive all year. So any lesson you miss, from the convenience of your phone or your computer or your iPad, you can pull up the lesson at any point of that day and do it. You don't have to attend the lives at all, but the live streams are really, really fun. And there's something a little bit more electric about being on the live with other people talking about the lesson together in real time. So we always say, if you can attend the lives, try to make it a priority, because it's just really powerful to start your day studying the course. And it kind of sets the tone for the rest of your day. But yeah, master classes, lessons, Q&A, reviews, you get the replays to everything.
One more question, if I can find it. I don't know if you can post it, but basically someone's asking about live participation. Yes. If you come to the watch parties, we have people who've gone through the whole 3 years with us, not 9 years, as was mentioned yesterday, only 3.
Just 3.
But we now have graduates of our program who are our teaching assistants. And so there's always very, very credible LTC people that are there to facilitate the watch party. And then after the video, there's open forum for questions, for sharing, for insights, for healing. It's a beautiful, beautiful community experience with them. And then again, with Aaron and me live every Friday. So you have access. Plus, you have our platform where you can share through the day and you can interact with, there's so many ways to immerse yourself and really, really experience the profound healing that's here for you.
Yeah. And speaking of asking questions, Patty says, I want to thank you for your answer to my question yesterday. I've been blessed and shifted by your answers.
We are so blessed to do what we do.
We are, man. We really are.
Yeah.
Glad to hear that, Patty.
Yeah. It's not, someone's asking about Facebook site. We don't do Facebook. Our site is on school, SKOOL.com. If you go there and look up, I think it's LTC Ashram.
Mm-hmm.
You can find our community there.
I guess I didn't answer the question about what time are the replays or the live streamings.
I think we're going to be looking at a couple next year. I know we will be anchoring the 9 a.m. Eastern time, but depending on our community, depending on the participation and needs, we often have viewing parties later for people who live in countries where it's hard to do 9 a.m. Eastern time. We have other watch parties possible.
Yeah, so if you're on the East Coast, you'll get the live lesson streaming every day at 9 a.m. Yep. If you're on the West Coast, probably by the time you wake up, it'll already be, the replay will be posted. That 6 a.m. is the live stream on the West Coast. So it kind of depends on your time zone, but we get that first stream out early, and then we're going to have a second live stream later in the day.
Man, I kind of envy the West Coast people, because you can just get up at 5:55, set your alarm, sit up in your bed, your lesson's done by 6:30. It's like,
if you're an early riser.
I mean, talk about, or go back to sleep for an hour, whatever, but you get it to start your day, the first thing you do. It's so good.
It is.
Yeah, it is good. All right. Any other questions before we pop out here? Thank you for all the questions about the program. We appreciate that. Any questions about the lesson? You pretty solid on that?
I was going to say, I guess it's a good sign we don't have any forgiveness questions. No. Means that the message was received. I can only imagine.
Indeed. And guess what? We're back tomorrow.
Yep. Through let's see. So Saturday is New Year's Eve or Sunday?
Sunday's New Year's Eve.
Yeah. Yep. So we'll be doing these lives through Sunday.
Yeah. Every day. Hey, at Facebook, now you got some forgiveness work to do.
Forgive Facebook.
Forgive it. Let it go. Don't let it haunt your mind. Pay attention.
Forgive the technocrats.
Yes. Don't let that rob you, please.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow. Peace and love.
Lots of love, y'all.